Hi, I'm EllaAradia and welcome to your September 2025 Psychic Tarot reading. This reading is for my Aries fire signs, where we'll be exploring the overall energies and themes for the month ahead, as well as taking a deeper dive into how these might be playing out for you in your life. This is a general reading, so it's going to resonate a little bit differently for all of you, although these messages can get very specific. But what I do find is there's always a shared theme that runs through the collective of all of you Aries signs. So take what feels aligned to you and just leave the rest. And before we jump in, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you who are supporting my channel by liking and subscribing. So if you enjoyed this reading and you haven't already done that, please do. It really helps the channel out. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. And then of course you get notified when the next videos are up. So Aries, let's jump in. So I'm immediately being shown someone here who needs to take a little step back from something, because what I'm feeling for many of you is there's a situation going on where there's conflict, disagreement. There's someone you're not seeing eye to eye with right now. And, you know, of course, this could be your relationship, but it may also be a work relationship of some kind. But I feel like there's this real kind of clash around being able to see each other's perspective. So for some of you, this is going to be a question of roles in your relationship. So with your overall energies, we have the Seven of Swords, and this often comes in when there is something being hidden. It's usually associated with deception, or perhaps, you know, somebody not being as open and honest as they could be, this kind of sneaking around, you know, in the dark energy. It also comes up when there are trust issues in a relationship. And what lies in your recent past, we have the World, and this is a card of cycles, of beginnings and endings, and it's the last card in the major arcana, so it represents the ending of a significant chapter or phase in your life and the beginning of a new one. But it's also a card of growth and, you know, moving things to the next level in some way. Because what I'm feeling very much about this situation, Aries, is whatever is going on, you know, because I just feel this energy of conflict, and it's like you've both got your heels dug in, and there really is something that needs to change around, you know, how this communication is happening here. Because I feel like there is some soul lessons here in looking at perhaps what this is illuminating to you, this situation, because I feel like there's some kind of, you know, truth that either needs to be spoken or needs to be faced inside of yourself. And with your current energies, we have the Five of Swords, and this is the conflict that I was feeling. It's, you know, it's one of these cards where it's very much that energy of wanting to perhaps be right, it's the winning at all costs, you know, regardless of perhaps the damage, the emotional damage, the damage to perhaps that particular relationship. And it's very much these ego-driven battles. And this is the conflict that I'm feeling around you. And this is the energy that I'm feeling here, Aries. And this is why I feel like the universe is, you know, bringing in this invitation to look a little bit deeper into this situation and what it really is illuminating to you. with your feelings towards your situation, we have the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords usually represents, somebody either coming into your life very quickly, leaving your life very quickly. It represents action and moving ahead. But the caution really with this card is, sometimes it can be quite a destructive energy where, those times where, and we've all done it, I feel like, gone steaming ahead, and, it's very much this kind of bull in a china shop energy. So this is the thing I was feeling at the beginning here. It might be a moment to just take a pause and take a step back from, whatever is going on here, and get a little bit more connected to your heart and your truth. And what this whole situation is, illuminating or wanting you to see, rather than kind of just, charging ahead, because there's a lot of energy of destruction here, especially with the Five of Swords. And sometimes taking a step back and walking away, even if it's just for a temporary moment, can sometimes be the best thing. Now with the Five of Swords here as well, I also get the feeling with this card that it could be about cutting ties with, someone, something that, feels unhealthy, that no longer serves your highest and best. Because with the World here, this is also this invitation to, move something to the next level. It's a card of growth, the ending of one chapter, the beginning of something new, but it's an evolvement of some kind. And the energy that I'm feeling around this, like whoever this is related to, Aries, is on your side not feeling, seen, understood and heard for your perspective, the role that you're playing in this connection. And I'm feeling that the person that you're dealing with is also feeling the same thing here. And it's almost like you've both got your heels dug in, like I was saying earlier, and nobody's really wanting to move. The energies are kind of a little bit stuck. But what I'm feeling here is the longer this goes on, the more it's just going to lead to destruction unless something changes. And, this is the whole thing that I'm feeling here about getting more in touch with your truth and communicating, from that place of truth, without the ego of, the Five of Swords here. Because of those of you who it relates to a person, a relationship, I feel like this is, someone where there is some history with this person. I don't feel like this is something new. And both of you, I feel, have, invested in each other, in the connection. And there is caring for each other, there is love for each other, there is appreciation deep down inside. But the communication needs to change. So what lies in your area of a challenge is the Eight of Wands, and this is all about taking action. And it's a sign of, energy moving, of communication channels opening. So for some of you, you may have gone into no contact. And, this is a sign of energy moving. But in this case, with it being in the challenge position, this is the kind of stalemate energy that I'm feeling here, that you've both come to. And with your hidden influence, we have the Ten of Swords. And this is a card, again, that usually comes up at the ending of a significant chapter in your life. And very often this can be, the ending of quite a challenging time, a difficult time. For some of you, it could be also involving betrayal, because we have the Seven of Swords here, which is a card of deception, dishonesty. But it does represent, the ending of, difficult and challenging times and moving forwards into, brighter horizons here. And the question I feel here is really more about, is this something that can be resolved, which will then take you to the next level of this World card? Or is it something that it is time to cut ties with and move on from? So with your advice from the universe, we had the Hermit. And this is what I was talking about at the very beginning of the reading, of taking a step back to really gain a different perspective, to really tap into your truth, your inner wisdom, and to perhaps really listen to, what that is saying to you in this situation. Because the Hermit is, a well-traveled energy that's had a lot of life experience. But not only that, this is someone who has really learned from those experiences. And this is what the universe is really asking you to tap into here, Aries, to tap into that inner wisdom, into your truth, and really listen to that. And the challenge is going to be about communicating that. Not being afraid, to speak your truth, to allow yourself to be seen in that way. And what lies in your outcome is the Two of Wands, a significant choice that needs to be made. And that's really the theme here of this whole reading. Making a choice here that is really aligned with your truth. Taking a step back from the arguing, the conflict, the disagreements, and making a choice which is truly aligned with your heart, and one that also leads to a better place for you, that leads to growth and expansion here, Aries. So I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, no matter what comes through in a reading, moving forwards, always trust what feels right for you. So thanks so much for being here, Aries, and I wish you a great month ahead.